Well, I welcome you to take your seats if you haven't already, and get comfortable. Find your sits bones and settle in. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaws. Close your eyes or lower your eyelids and sink into your sits bones. Let them grow heavy, feeling rooted to the earth on this beautiful morning. Feel your breath, a wonderful gift of breath. And begin to mindfully slow it down. And if you are able to make your exhalations longer than your inhalations, it will benefit your practice. Then bring your awareness to your tailbone and visualize it as a root lengthening down into the earth. And once you feel connected, bring that energy as though it were light up the spine, up your central energy channel, the subtle body, Sushumna, inner energy channel, and let that rise all the way up through the crown of your head. Feel yourself lifted as though by a sky hook or a golden thread lifting you from the crown of your head. Draw your belly in slightly. Tune into your transverse abdominis, that corset that wraps around your abdominal area, and lift your heart. As you breathe, envision your golden heart shining forth, radiant within you, filling each of your cells with golden light energy. And then tune in to that inner body, your inner world, and perhaps your inner voice, and see what speaks to you, perhaps to guide you through your practice this morning. And let's practice some metta this morning. Using the classical phrases. Practicing for oneself. Beginning with each one of us so that we can shine with love and light to ourselves and to all others. And if that doesn't feel appropriate to you in your practice, then please substitute any names or any pronouns that come up as being resonant in this moment. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. May I be safe and protected. May I be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness. May I live and practice with ease and with grace. May I be happy and peaceful. May I be healthy and strong. May I be safe and protected. May I be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness. May I live and practice with ease and grace. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be safe and protected. May you be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness. May you live and practice with ease and grace. Please bring your hands now together in Anjali Mudra, right in front of your heart. And we'll chant one Om, stimulating the lips where so many nerves live, and sending those sweet messages to all of our bodily systems. Take a couple of deep breaths first, cleansing breaths. Deep breath in and let it go. Another one like that. And let it go. And a deep breath in to begin. And release your hands. Let them settle on your legs or in your lap, and then lift your eyelids and slowly let the vision return to clarity. Sit up as tall as you feel comfortable with, grounding through the sits bones and lengthening through the crown of your head. And we'll practice divine grind, just taking some nice rotations, starting in the hips and keeping your spine nice and long. Rotate all the way around. Nice big circles originating in the hips and the pelvis. And then begin to lengthen through the heart, draw in through the belly as you come back. Let your heart guide you forward and your belly draw you back. Deep, large, full rotations. And next time you come forward, let's go the other direction. And then again, let the belly draw you back and the heart draw you forward, articulating through the spine. One more time, we'll go all the way around, and then when you come back to the front, come back up and sit up tall. And let's take the arms out to each side, lengthen through the fingertips, turn your palms up, thumbs back, and take a couple of breaths right here. Just feeling the openness through the front body, lengthening through the fingertips, hugging the shoulder blades towards one another on the back body. Stay with your breath, and on an inhalation, press your arms up as though you're pressing through something thick with resistance. Fingertips touch and then flip the palms and press down, hugging the shoulder blades towards one another. So you're co-contracting the muscles in the arms as you inhale and press up, engaging, hugging the muscles to the bones. And then exhale, press down, hug the shoulder blades towards one another. Beautiful. On your next breath in, press up, hug those muscles, triceps to the bones, and then exhale, pinkies forward, thumbs back. Inhale, press them up. Exhale, press down. And again, inhale, lift your heart, firm the muscles to the bones, and exhale, pinkies forward, thumbs back, hug the shoulder blades. Inhale, press up. Exhale, hands into Anjali Mudra, press them together and then press them apart. Flip them up. Inhale, lift, lengthen through the side bodies. Exhale, press down, keep lifting through the crown of your head. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, pinkies forward, thumbs back, press in. And inhale, lift. And exhale, Anjali Mudra, prayer hands. Sit up nice and tall. Let's take a twist. Lift through the crown of your head. Lower the shoulder blades towards your hips on your back. And with an inhale, lift again. Exhale, twist, bringing your right fingertips behind you like a kickstand. Turn to look over your right shoulder and draw that shoulder blade towards the center of your back body, towards the spine. Lengthen the neck, stay broad through your collarbones, and inhale, grow your spine long. Exhale, deepen in, draw the left lower belly in just a little bit more. Take another couple breaths like that, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to deepen in. One more time, deep breath in, lengthen up. Exhale, draw it in. And on your next breath in, come back to center. Take a breath cycle, reset, draw the shoulder blades onto the back, grow the spine long like that thread is lifting you up from the sky or the sky hook. Take a breath in, draw the belly in, and as you exhale, twist. Turn to look over your left shoulder, left fingertips behind you, pressing into the earth. Broaden through the collarbones as you breathe in and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, draw the lower right belly in just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up through the crown of your head. Exhale, draw the belly in. Soft face, soft eyes, stay with your breath. Lift the heart. Draw that back shoulder blade towards your spine. Couple more breaths here. Long neck, soft jaw. And on your next inhalation, grow the spine long and exhale back to center. Just take a moment and feel the stretch and the goodness of practicing. Let's take a side bend. Take the arms once again out to either side. Take a breath in, flip your right palm up, lengthen that arm all the way up to the sky, lengthen through the ribs, the side body. Take another breath in and grow even longer. And as you exhale, come into your side bend. Feeling the lengthening through the side body. Take a breath into that armpit. And as you exhale, send it down and out your right hip. Another breath here. And let it go. Take another breath in, grow the spine long, root through the sits bones and come back to your seat. Arms out to either side, reach through the fingertips and flip your left palm up. Take a breath in and lift the arm, lengthen through the fingertips. Feel your side body stretch. And on an exhalation, come over to the right. Take a few breaths here. Invite the breath into your left armpit. And as you exhale, send it all the way down and out your left hip. Feel that stretch. It feels so good. And on your next inhalation, grow longer and root through both sits bones to come back up. Circle your shoulders. Slowly, feeling all the range of motion, feeling the scapula, your shoulder blades, as they slip and slide over the ribs and then go the other direction. Feeling the inner body. And then pause, and we're going to come onto our backs and do some bridges and then include the arms. So we're just going to come up into a 45-degree angle. We're not going to press all the way up in bridge pose. And you can bring your arms alongside you. Let your fingertips brush your heels and send your second toes away from you. Draw your shoulder blades under your back, and for just a moment, lift your hips and lengthen through the tailbone so you can feel your mid-back or your lower back really drawing closer towards the mat. And then you can let your palms rest on the mat. Find all four corners of both feet and press into those. And on your next breath in, lift your hips, one line from your throat to your knees. And as you exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Roll it down nice and slow, feeling each vertebra as it lengthens onto the mat. Next breath in, you can press your palms into the mat as you lift your hips. And as you exhale, roll it down, nice and slow, feeling the articulation through your spine, and then feeling your whole sacrum as it touches the mat. Again, on an inhalation, lift the hips, keep the knees hip-width distance apart. Take a breath in at the top, and as you exhale, roll down. Nice and slow, and we'll add the arms on the next one. As we lift the hips, press into the feet and lift the arms all the way up and over, reaching overhead. And as you exhale, lower the spine, lower the hips, and lower the arms. One vertebrae at a time. Taking it again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And one more time. Press into your feet and breathe in as you lift your arms and hips. Keeping your knees hip-width distance apart, and exhale, lower down. Good. Once you've arrived on your back, take a moment, lift your hips once again, and draw both knees in towards your chest. Flex your feet and rest your hands on your legs so you're not pressing your knees down, you're just letting them lower towards your chest. Notice the back of your neck and lengthen the skin along the back of your neck. Once you feel your knees and legs have made their complete journey, take your hands to your knees and rotate them. Giving those ligaments all along the lower back a nice, good massage, and then go the other direction. Good, and then lower your left foot to the mat. Hug your right knee just a little bit more. Take a breath in. And if it feels good in your body, send your left leg long on your mat. Press out through the sole of that foot. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. Keep your feet dorsiflexed and active. We'll just take a couple more breaths here. Good, inhale. And as you exhale, bring both feet to the mat. Lengthen through the spine, through the top of your head, shoulder blades on the mat. And then take a breath in, draw the left knee towards your chest, flex the foot. You can stay right where you are or on an inhalation. Breathe deeply in. And as you exhale, send your right leg away from you if that feels good. Press out through the sole of your foot, both feet, pressing more into the big toe pad, drawing the baby toes towards your shoulders. A couple breaths right here. And inhale. And as you exhale, bring both feet to the mat once again. And then please roll to your right side. And with your hands and arms, press up. And let's meet in table pose. And because I have wrist issues recently, I'm going to bring my hands longer. But if your wrists are healthy, consider bringing them right under your shoulders, which is the best alignment. So for right now, we'll take upward downward cat with the toes turned under. Take a breath in and lift your sits bones, lift your tailbone towards the sky, lengthen your neck. Open through the collarbone. Exhale. Draw the tailbone towards the earth as you press the tops of your feet into the mat. Belly draws back towards the back body. Inhale. Toes turned under. Tailbone lifts. A slight external rotation at the head of the arm bones. Long neck. Soft jaw. And as you exhale, go the other way. Arch up through the back body. Inhale, let the heart and the belly sink down towards the earth. Lift your tailbone, open your heart. Exhaling, go the other way. Inhale, up cat. Exhale, draw the belly in. Come back to neutral And we'll take extended table with the toes, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Let your heart sink down between your shoulder blades and draw energy up from your inner wrists to your inner armpits. Make like a table so your spine is nice and long. Draw the belly up to support it, and then pressing into the top of your left foot, take a breath in and send your right foot back behind you. You can take a few moments to really press out through that heel as you lengthen the calf and the hamstrings, toes to the mat. And then coming back to a little more, less of a press back, we can take a breath in and lengthen, lifting the arm, lifting the leg, reaching out through the fingertips, out through the toes, taking a couple more breaths right here, drawing the belly in, supporting the spine, and hugging in. So as we reach out through the fingertips and the toe tips, we hug in to the midline of the body. Take a breath in and then lower down, knee and hand to the mat. Open your knees out and we'll sit back into a wide child's pose. And as you lower down, take your left arm out to the side, scoop it under, leaving your right fingertips on the mat overhead. Hug the muscles to the bones in your extended arm, your right arm, lifting the palm up off the mat. And breathe into the stretch. Hug the muscles to the bones in your right arm. Couple more breaths here. Just allowing the fibers to lengthen. Breathing in. And longer breaths out. And then on your next breath in, bring both hands to the mat right under your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Lift your knees back to hip width distance and come back to table pose. Let your heart sink down once again. Draw your belly in and back towards the back body as you lengthen over the mat. We'll take a breath in and send the right foot back, toes to the mat. Press out through the heel. You can feel those fibers lengthen in the backs of the legs, even into the foot. And then bringing your torso, so your shoulders are back over your hands. We'll take a breath in and lift, lengthening. Oops, you know what? We're doing the other side, aren't we? Yep, we are. So please reset and do the other side. Lengthening through the right fingertips and out the left toes. Hug the belly to the spine. Couple breaths here, lengthening out and drawing in. So it's an expansion and simultaneously we're pulling it in. Lots of muscle energy. Next breath in, lengthen out. And as you exhale, bring the knee and the hand to the mat. Lifting your knees to the wide edges of your mat, bring your big toes together and set your hips back towards your heels as you lengthen your hands and your torso over the mat. Take your right arm out to the side and then thread it through. Lifting your left palm up off the mat. Press just the fingertips into the mat. Breathe, feel the stretch. Ujjayi breath is really beneficial to employ in the practice. Long, slow, deep breaths in. And long, slow breaths out. Hug that shoulder blade down towards the hips best you can. Couple more breaths here. And then please bring your hands again to the mat and lift up. Lift your knees, don't drag them, please, back to hip width distance apart. Taking care of our groins, those ligaments in the connective area between our torso and the legs. And from here, we're going to press up into downward facing dog. Turn your toes under and fingers spread wide, middle finger facing forward. Lift your hip crease up towards the sky and then send it back towards the wall behind you. Take a few breaths here. Press out through your heels, perhaps walking your feet, walking your dog, walking your downward facing dog, lengthening those back legs, the hamstrings and calves. Draw the belly in and back. And then take a breath in and lift up onto your toes. Hug the muscles to the bones in your legs and then lower your heels towards the mat. Lift and lengthen through the side bodies as you send your hips up and back. Draw the shoulder blades down towards the hips and away from the ears. Take a couple more breaths here. And then please bend your knees, look to the front of your mat, and step your feet right up to the front of the mat, or to your hands, I should say. Bring your hands to your hips, firm into the four corners of your feet. And with the strength of your legs, rise up and lengthen your hands to either side. Take a few breaths here. And if you don't already have your blocks, get your blocks, please. Bring them to the front of your mat. And then meet me again in Tadasana, mountain pose. Once you've arrived, send your fingertips again towards the earth, and you can even close your eyes and feel into the soles of your feet. Make sure your feet are right under your hip sockets. Lift your toes and spread them, and then press into the big toe pad, the outer heel, the baby toe pad, the inner heel. Lift your arches, energize your feet. It's these simple things that can mean so much. Firming into your foundation, keeping all that energy active in your feet. Lower your toes and then spread your feet away from one another isometrically so they don't move. They're pressing away, engaging the muscles in the legs energizing all the way up into the hips, into the belly. Send the tailbone towards the earth. Keep firming those muscles and lifting through the heart. Feeling the shoulder blades rotating away and down towards the hips, away from the ears and down towards the hips. Feel that energy travel all the way down the arms and into the fingertips. Lift through the neck, through the crown of the head, and bring your ears back towards the shoulders, towards the wall behind you. If your jaw is lifted, let it draw down just a bit towards your collarbones. Take a few breaths here. Feel the strength and stability of mountain pose. And then please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra, keeping that beautiful alignment. And we'll practice some half sun salutations to begin. Take a breath in and press hands, drawing the shoulder blades towards one another on the back. As you exhale, lower your hands. Inhale, sweep them up to the sky, fingertips touch. Exhale, hinge at the hips and float down slowly, finding the mat, your legs, or your blocks, whatever feels best in your body. Inhale, lengthen, keeping your hips best you can over your ankles. Draw the belly in, lengthen through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, bow to the legs, and inner rotate at the head of the thigh bones. Inhale, lengthen, draw your knees up. Exhale, bow in with an inner rotation at the head of the thigh bones. Keep your sits bones lifted. Inhale, lengthen over the earth. As you exhale, bow in. On your next inhalation, sweep the arms out to either side, parallel to the earth. Exhale. And on your next inhalation, lift up, pressing through the soles of your feet. Lift the fingertips to touch overhead. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Inhale, press out through the palm and into your right foot. Exhale, crescent over to the left. Good. Take a few breaths here. Pressing your right hip out to the side. On your next breath in, come back up and switch hands. Inhale now and lengthen through the left palm and into the left foot. And as you exhale, crescent over to the right. Let your hip draw over to the right as well, if that feels good in your body. Lengthen through the side body. And on your next breath in, press into your other foot, lift up, fingertips reach towards the sky, shoulder blades come down towards the hips. Inhale, lengthen, draw the belly in. Exhale, lower your arms, and then bring them up to Anjali Mudra. Good. We'll do it again. Inhale, press hands. Shoulder blades draw towards one another. Exhale, release. Fingertips lengthen towards the earth. Lift the heart. Inhale, lift the arms, touch overhead. Exhale, hinge and lower down, bringing your hands wherever they best feel good in your body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow in, keeping your sits bones right above your ankles. Inhale, draw the spine long, head lift, draw the belly in. Good. Exhale, bow. Feel those hamstrings and calves lengthening. Another breath in, head lift, long spine. Exhale, bow in. Good. Inhale, place your hands, bring your blocks along with you if you like, bend your knees. And as you exhale, send your left foot back, runner's lunge. Grow the spine long and press out through that back foot. Lengthen the spine. Maybe you bring your hands to your knee and lengthen through the upper body. Pressing into all four corners of that front foot, press out through the back heel. And maybe you take your arms out to the side. Couple breaths here. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, lower down to the blocks. Good. Take the blocks to either side. Bring your hands to the mat. Good, and then step your left foot back. We'll come into plank pose. Spread your fingers wide. Bring your hands and wrists right under your shoulders. Press out through your back heels. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Come down to the earth. We'll practice cobra pose. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Draw your tailbone towards your heels and zip up from the pubic bone to the belly button. Shoulder blades circle and loop down towards your hips. And with the breath in, press up. Cobra. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Turn your toes under and we'll press up. Downward facing dog. Lift the hips towards the sky. Lengthen through the legs or bend your knees if that feels better. Find what feels good in your body. And a couple breaths here as you press out of your hands, lifting the hips to the sky, draw the belly in. Outer rotate the head of the arm bones. Inner rotate the head of the thigh bones. Couple breaths here. And on your next breath in, bend your knees, look to the front of your mat, and step up. Find your blocks, or your legs, or the earth. Take a breath in and bring your hands behind you, intertwine your fingers, and lift the backs of your hands towards the sky. A couple breaths here. Hug the muscles to the bones in your legs. Press into all four corners of both feet, and with the strength of your legs, come up, pressing your hands towards the earth, broadening through your front body, collarbones, pectorals, scalenes. Draw your ears back, lift through the crown of your head. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, release the arms, let them float up, lengthening through the side bodies, fingertips touch overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Beautiful. We'll take it again and then to the other side. Inhale, press hands, shoulder blades down towards the hips and drawing towards one another. Exhale, release. Fingertips drawing towards the earth as you lift your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips touch. Exhale, hinge at the hips, open the arms wide, float down, find your blocks or your legs, whatever feels good. Inhale, head lift. Exhale, bow in. Inhale again, lift halfway up. Exhale, bow to the legs. Inhale, bend your knees and frame your feet with your blocks, knees shining forward. Exhale, step your left foot back. Runner's lunge. Press out through that back heel. Couple breaths here, hugging the muscles to the bones in that back leg. Find all four corners of your front foot, and maybe you bring your hand to your knee. Lift up through the crown of your head, and maybe you bring your arms out to the sides. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, find your blocks with your fingertips or your hands. Another couple breaths here as you press out and lift through the crown of your head, drawing your shoulder blades towards your back body. And then taking the blocks to either side, bring your hands to the mat and step back for plank pose. Hands spread wide or fingertips spread wide and wrists right under the ankles. The shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here, pressing out through your heels, sending your tailbone towards them, broad through the collarbones and the upper back. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. You can bring your knees to the mat or not. And your choice, up dog or cobra. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back and down towards the hips. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Hug your elbows towards your ribs and take a breath in. Press up. Lift your heart. Let it shine in front and out towards the universe. Couple breaths here. Draw the belly in. And as you exhale, lower down. Turn your toes under. And again, we'll press up. You can come through table to arrive at downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. Expand and lengthen through the side bodies. Spread your toes wide. Bring your heels behind the widest part of your foot. Draw your belly in. Inner rotate at the head of your thigh bones. Outer rotate at the head of your arm bones. Couple more breaths. And then please bend your knees, look towards your hands and step up. Uttanasana, forward fold. Sits bones towards the sky. Place your hands on your hips and root through your feet with the strength of your legs. Rise up. Fingertips extend long towards the earth as you lift your heart. Tadasana, mountain pose. A few breaths here. Maybe like me, you'd like to rotate your wrists. Those nice wrists. Give them some love. You can shake out your hands. Shake out your arms. And then we'll take a standing pose or 2 or 3. We'll bend the knees, feet right under the hip sockets, and step the right foot back as though you're on railroad tracks for Virabhadrasana 1. Take your hands to your hips, and just to inform your own self of where your hips are, notice and then do your best to bring them into alignment as though they were one plane, parallel with the short end of your mat. Once you've organized your body in such a way, press into all 4 corners of your front foot and your back foot, which is at a 45-degree angle. Lift through your heart, lengthen your spine, lift through the crown of your head. fingertips towards either side. And then we're going to actually bring the hands behind us once again. Press the backs of the hands towards the earth. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend your front knee. Press back through the backs of your hands as you open through the front body. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend forward over your front leg, pressing out through the backs of your hands. Humble warrior. Inhale, press into all four of the front foot and lift back up. Take a couple of breaths here. And on your next inhalation, lengthen, and we'll do it again. Humble warrior. Lift the back inner ankle and press into the outside edge of the back foot. Stay long through the spine, long through the crown of your head. And on an inhalation, come back up. Good. One more breath cycle here. And then inhale, exhale, lengthen the front leg and release your hands. And you can shake out your arms and step forward. Maybe now you'd like to shake out your arms, shake out your hands. Take a breath here, look at your feet, bring them right under your hip sockets once again. Lengthen your spine, draw your tailbone towards the earth, draw your belly in. Take a breath in and bend your knees. And exhale, step your left foot back. Make sure you're on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Your back foot in a 45-degree angle. Take your hands to your hips again. Do your best to bring them into alignment with the front of your mat. Send your arms out to either side, firm the muscles to the bones in your legs. And then bringing the hands behind you, intertwine your fingers the other way. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another and press the backs of your hands towards the earth. Open through the front body. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, bend into the front leg. Inhale here. And as you exhale, humble warrior, press out through those hands and lengthen over your front leg. Take another breath in and press up. Keep pressing into the outer edge of your back foot, lifting through that inner ankle. Inhale, hug the muscles to the bones in the legs. And as you exhale, press out through your back, the backs of your hands, and lower over your front leg once again. On your next breath in, press up. Take another breath or two right here. Inhale, exhale, lengthen your front leg, release your hands, step up, bring your feet right under your hip sockets and shake out your hands, shake out your arms, give yourself a little shimmy. And let's take a wide stance on the mat. We'll take Virabhadrasana 2 and side angle pose. So a nice broad stance on your mat, toes facing the long edge of your mat, and set yourself up by drawing the belly in, sending the tailbone towards the earth, and drawing your shoulder blades on to the back, wrapping them onto the back ribs and sending them down towards the hips, and then lift up through the crown of your head. Turn your right foot to parallel the long edges of your mat, heel bisecting the back arch. Again, set yourself up for success, happiness, joy and liberation. Hugging the muscles to the bones in the legs, take a breath in, send the arms out, reach out through the fingertips, and as you exhale, bend your front knee, bend your right knee. If you feel your hips are not even, take your hands to them and bring them into the same plane once again. Keep your front knee right over your ankle foot and then send your arms out once again. Reach out through the fingertips. Keep your torso perpendicular to the earth as you press into the outer edge of your back foot. Take a couple more breaths here, hugging your triceps to the bones. And on your next breath in, take your left hand to your hip and your right forearm to your right thigh. Keep your hand active, your right hand active, as though you're holding a tray of teacups. And then stack your shoulders, bringing your left shoulder right over your right one. You can keep your hand on your hip or lengthen the arm along your side body. Another option is to turn your palm to the sky and then lift that arm right over your ear, extending all the way out from your back heel to your fingertips. So the left heel to the left fingertips. Stretch and breathe. Your front body facing the side of your mat. Couple more breaths here. Active legs pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, come back to Virabhadrasana 2. Warrior 2, looking out over those right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms, lengthen the leg. Good. Turn your right foot to face the long edge of your mat. We'll take the other side. Pajamas are warm. Turn your left foot to face forward, pressing into all four corners of both feet. Make sure they're lined up. Make sure your front foot heel is lined up with your back foot arch. Hug the muscles to the bones in your legs. Lift your heart. Send your tailbone towards the earth as you draw your belly in. Inhale, lengthen the arms out to either side, reaching out through the fingertips. And as you exhale, bend your left knee right over your ankle foot. Hug your left hip under, lift your heart. Look out over those fingertips. Hug the shoulder blades towards one another. Even out your hips if you feel yourself leaning over your left leg. Bring your torso into a nice long organization perpendicular to the earth. Take another breath or two right here. And then bring your right hand to your hip and lower your left forearm to your left thigh. Stack your shoulders, bringing your heart to face the long edge of your mat. You can stay right here or lengthen your arm along your right side body. And an option to flip your palm to the sky and reach your arm along your ear. Lifting your right inner ankle and pressing into the outer edge of your back foot. Enjoy your breath. Hug that left hip under, and on your next breath in, lift back up. Come back into Virabhadrasana 2. Notice where your knee is. Inhale. Exhale, lower the arms, lengthen the leg, and pivot your left foot forward. Couple breaths here. And then you can heel toe your feet in until you can stand in Tadasana. Taking a few breaths, maybe sending your fingertips long towards the earth, lifting your heart, or bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, Samastitihi. Feel into the inner body. Do your best to slow your breath. Feeling all that energy, your life force energy as it moves through and in your body. Perhaps bringing to awareness that inner voice, the inner guidance for your practice this morning. Good. Now let's come to a seat on our mats. Find your blanket, please, and a block and a strap. And, oh my goodness, I don't have my strap. I have to get my strap. And sitting up for staff pose, Dandasana. And please bring the block to the foot of your mat and wrap the strap around it. And bringing your feet to this block, hold the strap and lengthen your spine. And then walk your sits bones so they're right at the fold, the front edge of your mat. And you can bring that 30-degree tilt into the pelvis and assist your spine in lengthening. And imagine that sky hook at the crown of your head or the golden thread that's lifting you up. Feel yourself lifting right out of your hips, lengthening through the side waists. Draw the belly in, lift the ribs. Settle the shoulder blades onto the back ribs as you lift through the crown of your head, letting your shoulders rest away from your ears. Soften your jaw. Bring an internal rotation to the head of your thigh bones. Lift your toes to the sky. Activate your feet as though you were standing in Tadasana. So this is seated Tadasana, basically. A couple more breaths here, hugging the core body, the belly in, wrapping the transverse abdominis around like a corset. Spring is definitely speaking as we practice this morning. Take a breath in, draw the spine long, and we'll come into Paschimottanasana, keeping that inner rotation at the head of the thigh bones. Walk your hands along your strap, and just wherever they arrive is perfect. No judgments. Just being with what is in this moment. Keep inner rotating at the head of the thigh bones. Draw the belly in and think of your tailbone to the crown of your head as one beautiful arrow. One beautiful arrow shooting out into the sky. Keep drawing the belly in and opening your heart, letting that golden ray of light shine out. Hinging at the hip, stay long in the spine. Feel your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Feel that back space right along the sacrum. As you inner rotate at the head of the thigh bones, your pelvis grows wide, making lots of room for those sacral ligaments and bones. Couple more breaths here, my friends. If you tremble, know that you're in good company. And on your next breath in, rise up, lengthening through the crown of your head, sending your shoulder blades towards your hips, lift your heart, soften your jaw, Dandasana, staff pose once again. And then release the strap, release the block. Take a breath in and draw your right heel up towards your sits bone. We'll take a twist, and if you would prefer to bring your foot over your leg, you can do that. Check it out, see how it feels. Once you've arrived, please press your big toe pad of your right foot into the mat best you can, staying connected through the sole of your foot. Press out through the other foot, lifting the toes to the sky, and take a breath in, hug in towards your leg and your knee, lift through your crown of your head, open through the collarbones, and as you exhale, turn and twist, bringing your right fingertips behind you. And you can let your left hand remain at your knee, or if you like, you can bring your elbow in front, either lifting your fingertips to the sky or reaching long through your fingertips, long arm. I like to bend at the elbow. Bring awareness to the soles of your feet, pressing into the right big toe pad and pressing out through the left big toe pad. Draw your belly in and soften your face and jaw. Do your best to hug the shoulder blades towards the back ribs, onto the back ribs if you're able. Broadening through especially the right collarbone. Lift your heart. A couple more breaths here. Take another breath in, lengthen up, and as you exhale, return to center. Take a breath in, settle in, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, you can uncross your leg and then send your foot towards the foot of the mat. Take a breath cycle here. Keep firming the muscles to the bones in your legs, inner rotating at the head of the thigh bones. Inhale, grow the spine long. Exhale, bring your left heel in towards your sits bones. Hug into the knee, press out through the sole of your right foot. Sit up tall. Take a breath in, length. Oh, you know what? You can cross the foot over and press that big toe pad in on this side as well. Hug in and take a breath in, broadening through the collarbones. And as you exhale, bring your left hand back behind you, fingertips to the earth. And if the side feels completely different, that is the way it can be. Wrap your left collarbone around and onto the back body and press into the big toe pad of your left foot. Press out through the big toe pad of the right foot. Soften your jaw, soften the face. Breathe. Soft eyes. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Take another breath in to lengthen. And as you exhale, return to center. Good. Inhale and exhale. Take your foot away from the outside of your right leg and then send it down the mat. We'll take a couple breaths here in staff pose. And then we're going to come onto our backs in constructive rest pose. And I'm going to turn this way. And once you arrive on your mat, please lift your hips for a moment to lengthen out the spine all the way through the tailbone, sacrum, the lower back. And then let your hips grow heavy. And rest on the mat. Draw your shoulder blades under your back and lengthen the back of your neck. Sink into the back body. On your next breath in, draw one knee at a time in towards your chest. Flex your feet, toes to the sky, and relax your shoulders. Soften your jaw, and if your chin is reaching up towards the sky higher than your forehead, draw it down towards your chest, towards your throat. Lengthen the skin along the back of the neck. If your mid-back or your lower back arches up, draw it down towards the earth, lengthening through the lower back, the hips, and the tailbone. Take your hands to your knees and let's circle those knees again. Nice and slow with big circles to begin. And then let those circles grow smaller and smaller. Come to a still point and then go the other way. Keep your feet actively dorsiflexed. Relax your face. Come to a still point and hug your knees. Relax your shoulder blades and your shoulders. And then lower your feet to the mat. Whoopsie. Take your arms out wide to either side. Press into all four corners of both feet. And on an inhalation, lift your hips to the right. On your next breath in, lift your legs up off the mat, feet up off the mat, and take the knees to the left. Lift your hips towards your knees. Do your best to keep your shoulder blades on the mat, and if it feels good in your body, turn to look over towards your right fingertips. Soften your face, soften your neck and your shoulders, and you can always feel good taking your left hand to your upper thigh if that's helpful. You might want to press that thigh away from your ribs, lengthening through the side body. Enjoy your breath here. Soften your shoulders. Breathe into the right armpit, the right ribs and the lobe of the lung. As you lift your hips, breathe in to your side waist and into the hips, releasing the breath out the knees. On your next inhalation, draw your belly in and lift your legs. Set your feet back on the mat and lift your hips back to center. Lengthen your spine and reset Draw your shoulder blades under you. Lengthen the back of your neck. On your next breath in, lift your hips to the left. And as you inhale again, lift your feet, legs, knees up off the mat. And with an exhalation, send them to the right. Again, lifting your left hip towards your knees, keeping your shoulder blades best you can on the mat. And you can always feel good taking your right hand to your upper thigh, helping your body into the twist. Soften your face, soften your jaws as you look towards your left fingertips. Again, you can press that left thigh bone away from the ribs and feel that lengthening through the side body. Keeping that, you can open your arms again. And invite the breath into the left armpit, ribs, lobe of the lung, the side waist, the hip. And as you exhale, release the breath out your knees. Couple more breaths here. And on an inhalation, draw your belly in and lift your legs up. Set your feet on the mat. Next breath in, lift your hips back to center. Take a breath in and draw your knees towards your chest. Flex your feet. Apanasana. Again, notice if your lower back pops up off the mat and draw it down. Notice your chin and lengthen the back of your neck. Stay long. Soften into your back body. From here, find your way into happy baby. Finding your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees, your thighs, whatever works for you. Lengthen the back of your neck. If your feet and hands meet, press them into one another. Breathe into your pelvic floor, into any sensations as they rise up. Soft jaw, soft face, soft shoulders. Breathe into your hips, groins. Good, then bring the soles of your feet together. Press your knees out for Supta Baddha Konasana. Lengthening through the back of your neck once again. Take a breath in and return your knees to Apanasana. Hug in. If it feels good in your practice, you can lift your head towards your knees. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, open out and extend your legs long into Shavasana. Create some space between your legs. Let your toes rotate outward if that feels good in your body. Draw your shoulder blades under your back and lengthen the spine. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let the breath flow all the way down your body like a big, beautiful wave and out the soles of your feet. Soften your jaw, soften the tongue in your mouth, and take another breath in. And as you exhale, let that breath go all the way down and out the soles of your feet. Stay with your breath and feel yourself sink into the mat, into your back body. Feel the bones of your body grow heavy, so heavy. Heavier and heavier, sinking down into your mat, all the way down. All the way down past your mat and into the earth herself. Letting go as the bones sink down. And begin to become aware of the muscles growing heavy and losing their density as they dissolve down into the mat, letting go of form, sinking down even further. Further and further and down into the earth. And then your awareness moves to the skin of the body as it too loses form and melts down into your mat. Seeping down and into the earth. Feeling the warmth of the earth replenishing, nurturing and nourishing. Giving you all the ingredients to bloom fully into this new season of growth and expansion and awareness. Nothing to do but just receive. Allowing yourself to be loved and nurtured. And returning to form, find your breath. Feel the inhalation as well as the exhalation, the rise and the fall of the belly and the breath and the chest. And then please bring awareness to your fingertips and toe tips. Little movement through those. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, and circling the wrists and the ankles in both directions. And then with a deep breath, take a stretch, a feel-good stretch, any way that feels good in your body this morning. Lengthening and stretching through the toe tips and the fingertips. Deep breath in and let it go. And on your next inhalation, roll to your right side. Stay there for a few breath cycles to let all the nutrients of your practice assimilate into your cells, into the tapestry of your very being. And then rise up, find your seat on your mat, and please join me with your hands together in Anjali Mudra. Bow your head to your heart and just envision a golden, shining, radiant heart beating within, shining brightly within you, shining out from your chest like a beautiful sun. And with gratitude for your heart and for all the hearts that are gathered here and everywhere, let's send out some metta. May all beings everywhere be happy and healthy, peaceful and strong, safe and protected, loving, kind, and forgiving. And may all beings everywhere, omitting none, live with ease and grace all the days of their lives. Let's close with one Om. We'll simply inhale and begin. Om. And thank you so much for your practices, each of you, beautiful beings. So wonderful to practice with each of you. I hope you have a glorious and wonderful day. Namaste.